Welcome to Getting Real with John Natale. I'm your host today, guys, John Natale, for episode 87. The lead gen method's actually working right now. And if you hear a little bit of raspiness in my voice, that is because I am overcoming a small cold. But we're going to get through this episode because this is one you are going to want to not only save, probably listen to a couple times, it's definitely one you're going to want to share with a colleague, because it is so important right now to be doing the type of lead gen activities that actually drive business. No matter where you are in the country, it's no lie. Real estate is a very hard industry to be in right now. From a transaction standpoint, we are right back in 2009. Only difference is we have 3 times the amount of real estate agents as that year. If you're in the northern part of the country, especially the Northeast, you're battling low inventory. You may have clients, you may have motivated clients to move, but you are going through some really tough times finding the inventory for them to buy. If you're in the southern states, across that sun belt, you have more inventory than you could possibly imagine. And finding the motivated buyer that's willing to pay the price the seller is willing to accept is your challenge. So no matter where you are, the reality is the market is not easy right now. It reminds me a lot of when I started in real estate almost 2 decades ago in 2008 into 2009, 2010. So just like back then, if you are not doing the right real estate activities, if you're not doing the right lead gen methods, this really hard business is getting even harder for you. So this episode is all about the 5 lead gen activities that you can be doing right now to move your business forward and meet buyers and sellers and make the business as easy and as stress-free as possible. This comes from not only what's working here for us in New Jersey at our real estate company, but also the 50 plus agents we coach across the country. And before we dive in, I have to take a second to thank you not only for just listening to this podcast, taking a few minutes out of your time to learn with me, to hear what I have to say. I'm so damn appreciative of that. But the fact that many of you have stuck with me for this long, and the fact that this podcast continues to grow, our message continues to grow. Again, here at Natale, here at Getting Real, we have a simple mission: for less agents to fail and more agents to find the life of their dreams. If you're here in New Jersey and you're looking for a dynamic real estate company to join, Natale Realtors could be a very good fit for you. All you have to do is book a call with me below, and we'll meet and discuss our 100% commission model for agents here in New Jersey, and soon to be, hopefully, in another state coming this year. If you're in one of the other 49 states or across the world at this point, and you are looking for a coaching program that will get you to the next level, guaranteed, Natale Coaching is for you. If you're looking to grow your personal brand, become an attraction magnet for business where people reach out to you because they want to work with you, time and time again, you want to build a community, build an audience, have some damn fun, take care of your family and enjoy your time with your family, Natale Coaching is for you. Below is a link to natalecoaching.com where you can view all the information you need about what we're doing and also book a call with me. That discovery call is 100% free, and we will discuss your business and your options for partnering with us and having us come in and help you develop your business and your brand. Now let's dive into the lead gen activities and the lead gen methods that are working right now in real estate. And again, we're going to cover 5 of them in this episode. And while I think all 5 are important, this is not to say if you're a brand new agent or if you're doing none of these activities, tomorrow you should be doing all 5 at a very high level. You should be doing at least a few of them. However, I'm hopeful in this episode you'll garner some really good ideas for moving your business forward and finding more buyers and sellers, because that's the name of the game. And here at Getting Real, here at everything we do at Natale, is about helping agents do that. So the first lead gen method that is working right now is prospecting. And again, guys, these are in no particular order of importance. However, although prospecting has changed, again, there's so many intricacies that are different about prospecting now versus 10 years ago. Automatic spam blockers, the amount of people that even just pick up the phone anymore, getting correct data, utilizing AI, a lot has changed. However, the mere fact of picking up the phone and calling people that have already raised their hand and or possibly will be raising their hand is a game changer for your business. Now, I challenge a lot of people that do dive into prospecting to not just simply pick up the phone for 30 minutes, couple days a week, and expect success. The reality is prospecting success comes from a few different really important things. Number one is reaching out to more people than you used to have to. When it was 2017 or 2016, when I would call 50 people, it was a very good chance 20 of them would pick up. It's not the same anymore. Again, because of spam blockers, because people are just inept at picking up the phone, and most people just don't want to. I don't know. I don't really pick up my phone when I don't recognize the number. And 9 out of 10 calls that I get, my spam blocker picks up and says suspected spam. So I can't hate the fact of what has happened because it also makes our lives more convenient on the consuming end of some of these spam calls. However, you need to make sure if you're using your cell phone, you do not get labeled as spam. Very important. If you're using a line from your CRM or one of your dialers, it is very likely you're going to have to cycle through several different numbers continuously solely for the fact that they will get picked up as spam. Those triple line dialers don't work as well anymore. So it simply just means you need to call more people and call for typically longer periods of time to hit the same amount of people you used to. So that can be seen as a downside. The upside of that is most agents are not willing to do it. So there's massive amounts of business to be had if you are willing to put in the work. So the agents that I see that do really well with prospecting are able to and are looking to put in that type of work because they realize by the time they get someone on the phone, it's very rare that they're even really talking to anybody else. Whether it's a for sale by owner, whether it's expired, whether it's circle dialing. We love using MyPlus Leads for this data. There is a link below for a free 30-day trial with them. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening this on anywhere that a podcast is available, there is a link below for you to check that out. And for sale by owners, expireds is how I built much of my business in the 2010s. And if I was out there today trying to build something, I would absolutely pick up the phone and call people. But I would do it knowing that, hey, it's likely that I'm going to have to call a lot of people to talk to a few. But I would also utilize things like text to reach people as well. Although people are less likely to respond to a phone call, they are almost 100% likely to read a text message from you. Using spam texts or robo-text is not the move here, but a personalized text to someone could go a long way in helping you get a listing or a buyer. I'm not a huge fan of when prospecting to say, hey, I might have a client for you. Let me come and preview your for sale by owner. Let me come and preview your expired. I've talked at length why I don't think that works in the long run. First and most importantly, if you're not actually working with a buyer, you're lying to someone. I really like going at both for sale by owners and expireds with a very simple script. It says, hey, I know a bunch of real estate agents have been trying to reach you. I appreciate you just picking up the phone. I do things completely different from other brokers, and I'd like to shoot you one email a little bit about what I do and how I do it. Does that sound fair to you? And you'd be surprised. The vast majority of people will say yes. And then it's just a follow-up game, whether for sale by owner or expired. If you're circle dialing here in New Jersey, it is still smart to say, I'm sure you've had a whole bunch of real estate agents reaching out to you about possibly selling your house. And I'm sure you're pretty darn sick of it. But we are seeing in our market and in your neighborhood some pretty crazy numbers thrown out there. Do you have a number, even a crazy number in your head that you would ever consider selling your house for? And seeing what people say. Most people say, if it's $1 million house, they'll say, I want $5 million. But a conversation starts somewhere. Well, if you got that number, where would you be looking to go? And trying to create rapport. If you pick up the phone consistently, you call for sale by owners, you call expireds, you call in circle dial, you call into neighborhoods, you will find success. I think you even sitting there, even if you're saying, hey, that's not for me, you know it's true. It's a numbers game. Pick up the phone, have a good, succinct script, provide value to people, and then follow up. You're going to have a listing or two, but you have to put in the work. And this one lead gen method I'm seeing work really well right now for those willing to put in those hours and put in that work. The number 2 lead gen method that's really working well right now, community events and sphere events. So events for your sphere, your past client appreciation, quarterly pop buys, all of that stuff is working so well for people. Why? Because people work with who they know, they like, and they trust. And whether it's your past clients or it's in your community, if you can get people to know you, you can get them to like you, and then to trust you, you are going to get business from them. When their friend or their colleague or their daughter or their parents or anybody is looking to move, if you are top of mind, they will think of you. So into your community. That doesn't mean just at the farmer's market on Sunday getting a tent. That means being the organizer of the farmer's market. That means being the organizer of great community events. If you need ideas for this, there's a great episode on my podcast, a great interview with an awesome agent down there in Kansas. It's an interview with Larry Hall a few months back on building a community-based business. Go and listen to that podcast episode after this if you want to get your community and your past clients and everything else to the next level. But that's working really well for people. And a lot of those events, a lot of the community type stuff can be offloaded to, so you have very little expense. Yes, you have to be the organizer. But one of the best things I ever heard was you get paid in accordance of the community in which you provide value to. Again, you get paid in accordance to the community in which you provide value to. You want to get paid as a real estate agent? Build a community in your community. Be the one who gets things together. Be the one who gets people together. That drives a cause. That will bring you success in your real estate business without even having to ask for it. Number 3 thing working really well for agents across the country, old school, but it works, mail. Whether that's physical letters in the mail, whether that's postcards, but mail is really working. I've seen it startling drop in even my own personal mail. There's not a whole lot that comes through anymore. Almost everybody has automated their bills. Almost everybody spots a cheesy ad when they see it. So when people get a live letter from you that's hand addressed, and heaven forbid we actually say a handwritten letter or handwritten note over something that's providing value to them, or a golden letter, or a postcard to talk about how values in the area have been improving, and then get their free equity report from you by just scanning this easy QR code. This is stuff that's working really well for agents across the country, especially those with higher dollar values. So if your median price point, like here in our area of New Jersey, is $750,000, $800,000, $850,000, and so that means most of the houses you sell are around $1 million or more, yeah, mail's working. Mail's actually working really well, mostly due to the fact that people get less mail. And 2, if you're in those higher price points, that means you typically have a higher age bracket or higher age group that is the seller of homes. So diving into golden letters, going into ChatGPT, saying, hey, I want to send flyers to this neighborhood in this town, and I want it to be a great golden letter. Can you help me write it and make it sound like I wrote it? They'll ask you to submit some writing, and you'll have a beautiful golden letter to send out. Utilizing a great system like HomeBot for free equity reports. Home IQ is another one. Going back to My Plus Leads, one of the best things about them is they have a likely to sell score. So when you're doing this in a neighborhood, you're sending golden letters out, why send it to 500 people? When you can go on to My Plus Leads, go into neighborhood, pull up a radius, and pull up the 50 or 100 most likely to sell based on their AI algorithm. Or at least start there, and then go to the little bit more likely to sell. Or I should say a little less likely to sell. And just keep going and going, rather than just send a blanket to 500 people where maybe 80% of them will never be selling the house in the next 10 or 15 years. Old school tactics with today's technology is what's working for a lot of the agents I work with across the country. The number 4 thing working right now as a lead gen method to actually drive business. Another old school one, but it's working. It's open houses. Throwing an awesome open house is absolutely working right now to get business. Not only drives buyers in the door, but if you do it right, you send some handwritten letters to all the neighbors. We always try to go 10 to the right, 10 to the left, and 10 across the street. Invite them to a neighbors only open house beforehand. Update them with postcards and mail throughout the process. It is very unlikely you do not list another home in that neighborhood the next one that turns over, especially here in the Northeast, especially here in the North where things tend to sell really quickly. And if you do a great job, there's a very good chance someone's going to be calling you from that neighborhood. And that extra step of the neighbors only open house about 30 minutes before you do an open house is a great way to leverage not only buyers, but also sellers from your open houses. If you're a newer agent, you don't have any listings, go to the agents in your office that do have listings. Say, hey, can I host an open house at your property? That's how everyone starts, guys. You're not going to be born with 50 listings to go do open houses for the next 52 weeks of the year. You're going to need to go and find them. And the 5th lead gen activity in which you can utilize that open house for as well is social media. Yes, we talk about it a ton here on Getting Real. We talk about it a ton in my content. But the reality is the real estate game has completely changed, and you can drive active buyers and sellers every single day, every single moment through social media. And the coolest part is they're drawn to work with you and who you are and the messaging you put out. So rather than going to chase people around and do all these different things, people are coming to you. And we do those through a variety of different ways that's providing value, being consistent, all the things I talk about, but also home tours drive people live to your inbox. We do this not only with agents across the country, I do it myself. On my consumer-facing side, I have over 28,000 followers on TikTok. On Instagram, I've gone from under 1,000 followers to over 9,000 in the last 60 days, and we've driven close to 1,500 leads to my DMs. We have countless signed agreements. We have a bunch of listings coming because a lot of the people in our market that are looking to buy have a house to sell, and we've driven that all through social media. And this isn't to say social media replaces the other 4 things here. I think every great agent right now has a good balance between open houses, between prospecting, between community events, between mail, between social media. Finding a really good balance for these items will drive business to you and drive the type of business you want to earn. While I think paid leads could be an item here, and that is a valuable lead gen model, I think great agents can keep their overhead low and or damn close to free, if we're being honest. Community events can be picked up by title, by attorneys, by mortgage companies, by insurance companies, by inspectors, by all the vendors that you work with. Mailers can be the same. Social media is completely free. Everything I do on social media, especially on the consumer-facing side, is 100% organic. I don't spend $1 for any of those 1,500 leads that have come in. $1. If you tune into a lot of what I put out there, especially on the agent-facing side, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, you've probably noticed I've taken a step back in the amount of videos I'm putting out on those accounts. Why? Because I know on the consumer-facing side, we are absolutely crushing it right now. We're driving so many leads to our business. We've fully automated and used AI to do the first several steps of the process, the conversation with those people and those leads. And I've been in the lab cooking, figuring these things out. And that's why it's super important to me, and it should be to you. If you are in any way, shape, or form considering bringing a real estate mentor, trainer, coach into your business to help you develop your brand and develop your business, they know actually what they're doing and what's actually working. And right now, social media is working really, really well for a lot of the agents that I coach, and it's driving live people to their inbox very, very quickly. All of these ways could drive leads. Social media, to me, has the greatest profound effect for you. It builds your personal brand, which you can utilize for several different types of income. It makes you a walking billboard. It ingrains you into your community, and it can drive the highest volume of leads with the least amount of time invested. So I wouldn't just say, hey, just do social media. But if you are looking at a few of these, if social media isn't a piece of it, it really, really should be. And it could be the one thing that will really take everything else you're doing to the next level. Think about anybody with a personal brand, anybody with a big social media presence. Do you think business is harder or easier for them? Most likely it's easier. Doesn't mean it just comes. Just because you have 60,000 followers on Instagram doesn't mean, oh, wow, now you're the top producing agent. Fuck no. Anything but it. The reality is most people that have, 100,000, 200,000 followers on Instagram most likely bought a portion of them or all of them. Look at anyone's real, actual results. How much engagement are they driving on a video-to-video basis? But you can drive massive engagement on social media by showing up consistently, providing value, being a little bit entertaining, educating people really well, showing people homes, and your business 12 months from now can be completely different if you dive into just a handful of lead gen activities that will actually drive business. This isn't just fluff. This isn't just what worked in 2017 or 2012 or any other point in my career, 2020 or 2021 or 2022 or 2023. This is what's working right now. These 5 things, guys, if you dive into a couple to a few, if not all of them, consistently, you will have a winning formula for business, not only the rest of 2025, but definitely into 2026 and beyond.